Hi, everybody. This is Wishop, and this is your weekly reading from Monday, April 6th through Sunday, April 12th. And I'm traveling again, so it's another kind of ad hoc setup, and I don't have my little board with all the astrological stuff. But really, the big thing this week is that Jupiter is going direct again. It's been retrograde, and it's going direct. On Wednesday the 8th, direct in Leo. So we'll talk more about that as it fits in with the rest of the week. But also the moon tomorrow, and of course we have the big lunar eclipse, which I completely, whiffed on mentioning. Even though I was talking a lot about the moon, I didn't talk about the eclipse, which was kind of crazy. But and it was sort of a crazy eclipse, to be honest. The moon is moving into Scorpio on Monday. And then it's moving into Sagittarius the same day that Jupiter goes direct. So that's actually going to feel really good. But let me get into the I Ching first so that we can kind of put it all into context. So what I got for the I Ching this week was 31 influence, which in some decks, I hope you can see this, it's kind of bright. Let me move it to a little bit shadier spot. In some decks or some analysis, this is called mutual attraction. It can be called sensitivity. What it is a card of balance, but it's also a card of mutual respect, being aware of who you are and having a lot of appreciation for the way other people are different but complement you. So this may be a card of mutual romantic attraction. That can certainly be in play, and it is springtime, so that can be what's happening. But this can also be a card of appreciating yourself, looking through the mirror of other people who are different from you. So I think that with the Pluto-Uranus square of the past 3 years, and really as the lunar eclipse came through, it triggered it again. We've all been through kind of a spiritual and psychological and emotional storm, kind of a hurricane, really. And for some of us, especially at the end here, it's really been a lot of more dramatic changes. So you could have had tremendous external changes. So the hurricane that we've been through could have blown away a job, blown away a home, blown away big relationships. It could also have blown away bad habits or worries from your past. It could have blown away a lot of things that you were happy to see gone. But the fact is, we're all a little bit dazed, I think, after the storm. And so this is a week when we're sitting up from whatever, ditch we found ourselves in, and we're just doing personal inventory, like, okay, my arms are still here, my legs are still here. I can still take a breath. Okay, I know which direction up is. I know where my feet are planted. And this is a time, because we've been through so much transformational energy, I think there can be a tendency to lose appreciation for who you are, because we've been focused on the things that we want to change about ourselves or that we feel called to change. And then we can get so far away from our core in a huge, wild storm like this that we forget who we are. So this week, take an inventory. Yes, a lot has been changed. Yes, a lot has been blown away. But here's a chance to recognize your core truths. And maybe it's simple things like, do I still like chocolate milk? Yes, I do still like chocolate milk. Do I still, is summer still my favorite season? Yes, it's still my favorite season. Understand and appreciate the things about yourself which haven't changed. And that's going to help you recognize your polarity, meaning sort of your yin-yang mix. So you may be more of an external yang, outward push kind of person, or you might be more of an inward yin, reflective, attractive, receptive kind of person. This doesn't really have to do with gender. It's just kind of your makeup. And probably that essential makeup of you, whether or not you're more sort of yin or more sort of yang in the way you like to work and live, is still true. And it's still you. and it's still perfect. It's wonderful. So as much as you've been changed, some things have stayed the same. And this week, whether it's through the lens of other people or whether it's through personal auditing yourself, realize the things about you which remain. Okay? We're doing inventory after the storm, and we're seeing, oh, there's some big bare spots where things have been blown away. Absolutely. But there are also things which remain. And it's a time to really embrace the things about you which remain, enjoy the comfort of the things about you that still remain. Like, I still recognize certain things about myself. Okay, that's all right. That's good. And also to see that through the mirror of other people and realize they've all been through a storm too, have a great deal of sensitivity, as we say, for them, and respect and joy for the way that their differences complement yours, and sort of help this whole magical, mysterious, crazy, multifaceted universe to work. So really have appreciation, have some understanding for what they've been through, because you've been through it too, and really appreciate the differences and refinements in each other as you appreciate it in yourself. 3 and 1 adds up to 4, which I think of as looking for stability. We're kind of looking for stability this week. As I said, you know, the Wizard of Oz tornado came through, and now we're all just checking, like, okay, I lost a shoe. Okay, I can cope with that. I lost a shoe. My jacket, I don't know, it's in a whole nother state. There's a cow in the tree over there. Things are still kind of weird. It's going to be a while before we're completely settled down. So I just want to say, if you experience moments of that deep attraction and appreciation for another person, really enjoy it and know that that's coming from the deep core of who you are, responding to the deep core of who someone else is, regardless of all these strange, regardless of the strange weather that we've been having. And I think what's going to help with this a lot is when Jupiter goes direct, it's going to bring blessings. Jupiter is the great benefic. It brings blessings. It's like Santa Claus. And Santa Claus has been retrograde, but now we've got all these bare spots in our life. Some of them we're probably quite happy to see bare. It's a Zen garden. It's beautiful. It's stripped down and simple and elegant and lovely. But there may be some bare spots that we're not as happy with and we feel a little odd about. And Jupiter is going to bring blessings to fill those spaces. So don't worry if you've got, you know, if the walls of your life have some, you know, torn out drywall where things got blown around and punched through, don't worry. Jupiter's bringing a nice piece of art to cover that up. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good. So he's going to come start doing his work this week. And when the moon moves into Sagittarius, that's also, Sagittarius is such an adventurous energy that all these new blessings, we're going to just take them, we're going to be twice as happy to see them because we're ready for new things. So know who you are, but be very open to new things because I think that's kind of coming. So that's really the I Ching and the astrology focus. So let me jump into these cards as I run out of time. I am using the Tarot of the Zircus Magi deck again by Doug Thornsdale. Let me throw this up here. It's a very interesting deck. As I say, it's kind of a trickster deck. It's dark and it's kind of deep, but I believe it really rewards if you work with it. I really find it to be fantastic. The more I work with it, the more I like it. So I'm just mentioning that. So here we go, 3 cards for the week, and we're just going to see where we get. Oh, there we go. Okay. And, oh, check us out. All right. Okie dokie. All right, so we've got 3 reverses, which usually means a very, it's a shift in energy. Okay, well, we're looking forward to a shift in energy, aren't we? So let's start with looking at what these cards are. This would be the equivalent of the Hermit card, the Solitarian. Okay, and so the Solitarian is really, he's holding his lantern. You can see this is a very sort of dark and gray card. It represents a lot of going inward, self-exploration. We've done an awful lot of that. The time is probably right to take a break. Here's also the Duchess of Buckets. And sometimes when I look at the Queen of Cups, in this case, this is the Duchess of Buckets, and she's sitting on the elephant's trunk. You can see somebody who is sort of lost in her own musings. She's a little bit self-centered, lost in her own emotions, because she just stares at that cup. What's interesting is this Duchess of Buckets really stares out at us. She almost sort of looks a little bit challenging out at us. But I think in the reverse, we're sort of looking, if this Duchess of Buckets in reverse is us, I think we're looking not to be too absorbed with our emotions this week. Let's go ahead and face out to the world. Let's let that, sort of sunny energy of Jupiter and Leo kind of bake away some of these waters. The waters of this lunar eclipse and of all of the emotion have been just relentless, and we could really use a dry out session. So I think we're just going to say, Queen of Cups, we've kind of had it with all the watery energy, and we kind of need a little bit of a bake out. If we could just dry out a bit, things would be good. Now we've got, here is the Ace of Rings, which in this deck is winter quarters. Okay, so the Ace of Rings would be typically the Ace of Pentacles. But if you look at this particular one, here's like a head of like a human cannonball that got shot through this thing. And winter quarters basically looks like you escape somewhere for the winter and you take a break. After a long time, you sort of take a break. But we, of course, think of the Ace of Pentacles as new beginnings. So I guess I'm saying, in reverse, winter is finally over. And I think we can look at the introduction of spring as being real. So I wanted to say I had an oracle card deck. I'm using the Enchanted Map Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid, and this one fell out. So this is number 40, Follow the Leader. So this can mean, in her little white book, it means express leadership, show leadership, express leadership, or perhaps find a leader to follow. But the way I see it here, because we've got this really springy energy coming on, and then we've got these this little ducky and these little animals here and these birds and this fairy, and I feel like here is, these autumn leaves, which are way over there. I really feel, and here are these little flowers up here. I feel like we're going to get signs on this way to let us know that we're on the right path. And look for signs, and look for signs of spring. Look for these springy signs to let you know we're still here. We made it. We can look at each other with a great deal of relief, I think, to have some relief, and look at each other and really smile as we move forward. But look for signs. We've got fairies, we've got birds, so look for little signs that'll just kind of tell you, you're on the right path, you're doing fine. So that's the one that fell out. So I was going to take the other one off the top just to see, what we got. So here is another oracle card from the top of the pack. And this one isn't this sweet? Number 2, Gentle Gardener. And do you see these little fairies on here? And they're so small, but they're on this little nest. It's totally cute. These little fairies on this little nest, they're like hatching fairies. And you see this gentle gardener up in the corner. So let me tell you what she says about it, and then I'll tell you what I say about it. Because I am so into tarot, naturally I see the 2 and I think of the High Priestess, and I look at this sort of gentle-faced woman who's hatching fairies, and I think, oh, that's nice. It's this wonderful mothering energy. So here's what she says. Be your own person. Be a conscious co-creator. And I think that this really ties in quite a bit with my feeling that you're supposed to appreciate yourself for who you really are, because now we know, and you're supposed to appreciate other people and co-create. The Gentle Gardener is visiting you at this moment in your life to remind you your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs create the reality. She is the embodiment of the energy sent out in the field of co-creation and ensures that all you are is reflected in the world of form. Believe in limitless possibility and you will see miracles unfold. The gentle gardener guarantees the integrity of everything you send out into the world. Stay positive and expect a wondrous return. Your garden is abundant with beauty. So hopefully I made it and I can actually load this video. Have a great week. I actually think possibly the worst of the storms are over, at least for now, and I'm hoping that as we dig out from whatever storm-tossed rubble might be here or there in the corners of our lives, that we're really enjoying the blessings of spring and that you are looking for miracles wherever you go. So have a great week. Rock on with your bad selves. Be awesome. Okay, bye.